All right, everyone, let's dive right in. Today, we're taking a close look at TechCXO's Sales Foundation program.
Definitely. Sounds like a meaty one.
It really does. We're trying to figure out if this program can really deliver on its promise of, well, building a rock-solid sales team.
Right, and not just for the newbies fresh out of training.
Exactly. I mean, they're talking about getting everyone on board, new folks, account managers, even senior sales leaders, and get this, they're managers too.
And that manager buy-in, that's crucial if you want to see real lasting change.
It's true, because you know what happens, right? You go through these sales training programs, everyone's all fired up for like, what, 5 minutes?
I've seen it. The energy's high. People are jazzed about the new tactics, but then...
It's back to business as usual.
Exactly. It all fizzles out. And why? Because the foundation, the consistent application, the buy-in from the top, it's just not there.
Which is interesting, right? Because this TechCXO program, it seems like they're trying to address that very issue, wouldn't you say?
It seems that way. They're emphasizing this idea of a culture of sales excellence. And that doesn't happen overnight or with the one-size-fits-all webinar.
No, it doesn't. So let's get into the nuts and bolts of this program. I'm skimming through their description here, and they've got the usual suspects, right? Workshops on call prep, objection handling, the basics, you know.
Sure, got to have the fundamentals.
Absolutely. But then it gets really interesting when you see things like high-impact networking and C-suite briefing and prep guides. Those really jumped out at me.
Me too. And this is where I think we start to see what sets this program apart. They're going beyond just closing deals.
Right.
It's about giving your team the tools and the confidence to navigate complex organizations.
To be able to walk into a room with like a CEO and actually command their attention.
Exactly. And not just command attention, but communicate value in a way that resonates with those high-level decision makers.
Yeah.
CEOs, CFOs, they're thinking about the big picture.
The bottom line.
Right, the bottom line. Your team needs to be prepared to speak their language, to position your product or service as a strategic solution.
I'm also seeing here that they really emphasize practical skills, like forecasting accuracy and building a compelling business case.
It's all connected, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can have the best product in the world, but if you can't clearly articulate its value, if you can't demonstrate the ROI,
It's a non-starter. And that's where having trainers who've actually walked the walk makes a huge difference. And these trainers, they've got like 20 years of experience each. They've been there, done that, got the battle scars to prove it.
they're not just talking the talk, they've lived it. And that kind of real-world experience is invaluable. They've seen the pitfalls, the missed opportunities, the costly mistakes.
Okay, so let's flip the script for a second. For those listening who might be thinking, this all sounds great, but is it really worth the investment? What would you say to them?
The million-dollar question. ROI. Look, every investment has an opportunity cost, right? So the real question is, can you afford not to invest in your sales team's development?
And when you phrase it like that,
Because think about it. Every missed opportunity, every deal that stalls, because your team wasn't equipped to navigate a complex sales cycle or confidently present to a C-suite executive, that's potential revenue walking out the door.
it's like they say, failing to prepare is preparing to fail.
Exactly.
And what I'm getting from this program description is that TechCXO, they're all about long-term success. It's not about chasing quick wins or relying on outdated tactics. It's about building a sustainable sales engine.
And that's the key takeaway here, I think. It's about playing the long game. This isn't just about hitting next quarter's quota. It's about building a team that can consistently deliver year after year.
Well said. And on that note, as we wrap up this deep dive, I think the big question for everyone listening is this. What's the true cost of sticking with the status quo? And how would a program like TechCXO's Sales Foundation, with its emphasis on consistency, practical skills, and C-suite readiness, impact your bottom line a year from now? Something to think about.
Definitely something to think about.